There's a lake near my house where no one goes swimming, and honestly, I'd advise you to stay far away from it too. It all started last summer when my younger sister Ellie and I, searching for a place to escape the sweltering heat, stumbled upon it nestled in the woods not far from our backyard, its water shimmering like glass in the sunlight, enticing us despite the signs that read no swimming, dangerous currents. I remember the thrill of the discovery, the lost feeling of childhood exploration as we crept closer, defying the warnings that seemed more like whispers than laws. Ellie, full of unyielding curiosity, dared me to touch the water, but before I could respond, a dark ripple snaked across the surface, undulating like something alive, my heart pounding in my chest as a shiver of foreboding coursed through me. We left, but not without a glance over our shoulders, as if the lake were a hungry predator waiting for the right moment to pounce, and it wasn't until a week later, during a gathering with friends, that the legend of the lake crept back into our conversations. The older kids spoke of a boy who had drowned there years ago, how he had been playing on the shore when something pulled him under, never to resurface, his disappearance a sore spot in our small town's history that anchored every rumor to the water's edge, chilling tales of midnight cries for help that echoed through the woods disturbing long-forgotten slumbers. While our friends laughed it off, I sensed the weight of truth buried beneath their trepidations, and when I mentioned we had been there, the mood shifted, his eyes widened, warning me that they weren't joking about the darkness that lay beneath the surface, the lake harboring more than just water and fish. That evening, I tossed and turned, imagining glimpses of darkness beneath the water. Could it be the lost boy? Was he reaching for poor souls to join him? I thought of Ellie, who remained blissfully unaware of the danger lurking nearby, and it was that restless night that morphed into haunting days where I felt a constant pull to the lake, as if it were an extension of myself calling me closer, and before I knew it, curiosity triumphed over caution as I found myself back at the lake, the sun setting in a blaze of colors that danced across the water, weaving together strands of beauty and dread. Alone this time, I crouched by the water's edge, skin prickling with the sensation of being watched, my reflections seemingly vanishing and reappearing in the shifting surface. I began to toss pebbles into the lake, one after the other, each splash echoing the heartbeat beneath my own skin, and there it was, the darkness reaching back, not just in my imagination, but something more corporeal. The water began to churn violently, and my blood ran cold as a face surfaced for just a moment, pale skin and sunken eyes staring straight at me, and then it vanished, leaving me gasping for air, desperate to dislodge the image from my mind. Panic surged, but as I turned to run, I realized I couldn't escape that feeling of being drawn in deeper and deeper. It was a compulsion anchored to the water that seemed to swirl with a sinister current, promising knowledge about the boy, pulling me back each time until finally, I convinced myself to return with Ellie. I had to show her, to save her from the lurking